So you've worked so hard for your money, grinding, working all those hours, or mum and dad just gave you the money, I don't know. But the big question on your lips is, should I get Extinction, this fabulous thing, the end of an era for Ark? Or should I not? Or is it a big fat waste of time? Well, I've been playing it in single player for 2.5 days, give or take, and I've got some thoughts on it. There's lots of videos out there on all the various tames and stuff that you can do in Extinction, but I have a way of thinking about the game which is maybe a little bit different. It's an overview of how Extinction is going to fit into Ark. So watch this for the next 15 minutes and I'll give you a bit of an opinion, I suppose, on whether you should get this game, this expansion pack, and is it worth your hard-earned money. But let's start off with a quick overview of what this map is like. So the very first thing is quite simply that this is planet Earth when it is wrecked, and there is the sanctuary which is in the center of the map, which is like a diamond shape. It is green, it has lots of big structures, big tall towers, lots of really good building spaces. That is in the center of the map, that's where you spawn. There are two tech biospheres, a desert one, and then over on the other side is a snow one. Within those are sort of artificial environments. There's also some canyons and fissures and ravines with all the nasty sort of crap that you would tend to find in that. And surrounding the sanctuary is essentially a wasteland which, is bloody inhospitable. The wasteland itself has various little mini biomes within it. The obvious one over there is the sulfur biome. These are absolutely horrid places to go around. They have very high temperatures and are full of corrupted creatures. So this is a quick look at the sort of the sulfur lands, and as you'll see, these corrupted creatures, which can be anything, are absolute savages. They attack absolutely everything. The pteranodons are a pain in the ass. They will attack you if you fly past. It makes taming stuff out here really difficult, I'll tell you that for a fact. But these various little biomes in the wasteland can yield all sorts of different resources, so get out there and whack some rocks and see what you can find. This one gives condensed gas and sulfur. How cool is that? And then if you come across this one, which is over the other side, you have these bizarre looking red tree vine things. Well, jump off your pteranodon and give them a whack, and you get rewarded with a sap that actually acts like red crystals. That's pretty cool. These canyons and fissures that you come across marked here on the map just really briefly are really dangerous places to build. They are full of corrupted creatures, but to my surprise they were also full of corrupted reapers. This is not a place that you want to go wandering around on foot. Have a look down there, that is just a vile place to build. And over the top there you can imagine my surprise when I saw the reapers. A bit further up, heading towards the snow biome, over on the left hand side of the map, or the west side of the map, is where I have found the zombie or corrupted wyverns. Beautiful looking things, and these are going to be something that people are going to be pretty keen to get hold of, I'd imagine. It's certainly going to give you a hell of a fright when those turn up on your doorstep. Corrupted wyverns. To top it off, look at that for a breath. Bright purple. How epically cool is that? As you head up towards the snow biosphere, there is a big cave down on the bottom right hand side. I'm not sure what's in it, haven't had a chance to go have a look, but I've noticed a couple of the big caves around here do have artifacts within them, so it's probably heading towards an artifact, because when I decided to have a look, it's definitely not a place that you want to be going into unprepared, shall we say. I was wondering what the hell is all that crap flying around down there. But as you can see within these caverns, there are a few of them scattered around the map. They're all pretty similar, no dissimilar to other Ark caverns, packed full of stuff you're gonna have to kill or fly over the top of to get in there. and this is directly below the biosphere. When you go into these spheres, as you'll see, you fly on in and you basically come into an artificial environment. Each one has its own different creatures. This one, the first thing I spotted here was the snow owls over there, and if you're wanting to look at those online, they look pretty epically cool for a tame. Maybe I'll do that in another video, maybe not. And good to see an ovis. Always nice to have ovis on a map. There you go. They also have these crazy dragon lizard things, which sort of go down like light speed. Those are going to be something people are pretty keen to tame. A Magnamar or something like that. Look at that thing go. Almost looks like the Drake zoom sort of capacity, doesn't it? And then of course you have the desert biomes, which are pretty standard desert type of an environment with everything you would expect to find in here. Cactuses and all the other tames. It does have some unique creatures, of course. One of those is the Velonosaur, pronounce that how you want. This is going to be an awesome creature for base defense. Shoots, I don't know, spikes or seed pods or something out the front of it. Like a machine gun, love it. Absolutely brilliant. But got absolutely annihilated here. That's a dramatic finish right there. Desert biome worth a look. Looks good. And as you leave, of course, you pass through the tech shield and there's Sanctuary. So one of the first things you're going to notice when you start in this Sanctuary is that there are these tech robots wandering around. And their job is to actually keep the wild creatures of the wastelands out of this lovely green cityscape where you often start your game. They will leave you alone if you're on foot. They are harmless to humans, and in fact that's such a bloody good way to harvest early hide is to follow them around as they kill the wild creatures and you just get the stuff that they leave behind. However, there is a catch to it, which I'll show you here. They do not like your wild tames either, and they will give you a good smackdown if you get too close. So yes, fine for humans, but not for your tames. You need to keep your tames away from these little buggers. There are a couple of different types of these lurking around the sanctuary area, protecting its precious walls. One of the other things you're going to notice, of course, is that despite the fact that the obelisks are standing in the sky like they have for all previous arcs, they are actually not working. They have a dotted lines coming down and going up from the land beneath them, and there is no point to do any sort of transferring up into the obelisks. But have no fear, because you are not left stranded on Extinction. There is an alternative, and dotted around the map there are various terminals. They look something like that. They do vary in shape and size, and these are where you can access and upload and download and do sort of things, and also make element and various other creatures. You can make these droids. That looks epically cool, and I am really keen to see that. One of the interesting issues on Extinction that I have seen is the difficulty in gathering 2 resources. The only way to find silica pills is in beaver dams. Now there's a few of them around. I have not seen them under any water sources yet. That may mean that farming silica pills is going to be a problem. Secondly is oil. Oil is definitely a problem to get on Extinction. There are only small nodes of it, and they are in a very inhospitable area, and that is going to be problematic for a lot of people. Another new element to it all, I'm not talking about element ore, I'm just talking about an element aspect of the game, is the borders of the map. No longer do you have a wall that you just cannot pass. There are these pillars with these red lights on the top of them. As you get closer to them, you get this static sound, and God help you if you go past that invisible line. You take humongous damage. You will not last very long. You get plenty of warning, but you need to be bloody careful of that. And of course, they've added lots more tech creatures, like this tech quets here. But like this map, you trank that bad boy out, and look what he's going to fall down amongst. Good luck with that one. Now in the northwestern corner you can actually go past the ravine and work your way down into what looks like part of an abandoned city, and then down into the lower forested canyon area. You can work your way downwards. You will notice an absolute absence of any wild animals in the upper levels, and you'll also notice an absence in metal. But as you do work your way downwards, you'll come across water and quite an abundance of animals of a variety of sort, including the gachka, or gatka, however you pronounce it, easiest tame imaginable, cute as possible. Just throw food down in front of it and you'll have yourself tamed one of those in no time whatsoever. Now there are big lakes here, and I've had a good look around them and I cannot find silica pearls for the life of me. Maybe there are some here, but buggered if I can find them. And as you can see, I'm in the northwestern part of the map. It is a huge cavern complex, don't underestimate, it's massive. Lots of places to build down here, some good spots, but one big catch, there is not much metal. You're going to have to be transmitting or transporting all that in. So it's very scenic under here, and you would not know that you're playing in an extinction server if you spend a lot of time down here. But there are some tunnels leading out of it. Now I think this leads up to an artifact. I call this one the Tunnel of Death. It is absolutely teeming with Rexes, Allosaurs and Utes. Good luck getting to the end of that one. However, I'm going to give you some comment here on what this map is like overall and what it means to you. There are actually only several places that you can actually legitimately build. That is in the sanctuary area in the middle of the map. You have the ice biome up there and the fire biosphere down there, and you have the major cavern complex. There are a couple other spots, but essentially I'm going to guess about 60 to 70% of the map is relatively unbuildable due to it being wasteland. So what does this mean? Well, what this means is that tribes are going to be relatively condensed together, in my opinion, certainly the big tribes. It means that you are going to struggle to get little bases set up. There is going to be a density of tribes vying for good spots. It is not like Ragnarok, which has huge areas where you can build. It's more like Arboration, in that there are some particular good spots which everyone looks to go to, and that is going to be the case on this map as well. So when you combine the fact that there are only certain places to build with the fact that there are only fixed terminals, it's the only way to upload and download creatures, there are no drops and there are no arcs. You're going to need a transmitter to move freely between servers. There is the ability to lock down certain parts of the fixed terminals, so it's difficult for people to come and go. When you have that also combined with that there are certain resources which is really hard to come by, silica pearls and oil, and you need those in quantity to be able to produce yourself a higher level tier tribe. Keeping all that in mind, I actually think these are going to end up being like Scorched Earth servers, which are often locked down by significantly large tribes, and they're very, very, very hard for small to medium-sized tribes to establish themselves on. It's a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. I actually quite like the map in many respects. It's interesting and it's certainly very different, but I don't know if people are going to be playing this much in 6 months' time.
I stand to be corrected, and if I am, well, that's the way it is. Anyway, thanks for watching. Till next time.